Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today let's just review some stocks over the weekend and see where we are potentially buying. So looking at SMCI, I start with this because we just got news that it is getting accepted into the S&P 500. As you can see with that news, we're at 860 and it blasted all the way up to 1,000. So let's just look at it. 870 up to 1,000. That's a 20% move right there. This stock is just going to the moon. I mean, just look at it in the last 3 months. It went from 250 all the way up to 118. I still think this has room to grow, as crazy as that sounds. Am I going to buy this stock? No, but I think it's worth it looking at. Because look at that, 300% gain in the last 3 months. So for me, I missed the move, and I'm just going to see where it goes. Shorting opportunity, I'd be a little scared here to be shorting this. I'd have to get this near all-time highs, like 1,070, but I wouldn't short this, to be honest. It's too bullish. I mean, look at this massive cup, and then there's the handle. So I don't know. I just feel like this is gonna keep going up. But I just wanted to start with SMCI because looking at the 5-year chart, just remember if you are buying this at 900, just remember in the beginning of 2023, it was worth $90. And before that, $15, 2022. So just be very careful with this. So next stock, let's talk about Microsoft. Microsoft is bullish. This is something I plan to buy long term, and I don't like buying things at the high, but Microsoft is the best company out there. I mean, look at the trend channel. It is basically just making higher highs and higher lows. And it's trading at the middle of this trend channel right now. So we just have to see if it's going to break 420. If it can break 420, we can start making a move. I mean, just keep in mind, though, these are all-time highs. So there is no ceiling. So it can go up, 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 up. But Microsoft is one of those companies that is reliable. And even if you buy it here, it may be 500 at the end of the year. Who knows? But this is a nice, healthy pullback from 350 all the way back to 225, and now making its move to 420. This is something that, maybe with the YouTube revenue, I'll start buying a little bit of Microsoft long term just to see where it goes. I own it in my growth funds, so it's not really like a rush to be trying to buy something like this. But I just want to show you on the 3-month chart, just because it gives a little more clearer picture. This is where you're trading, and this is the head, this is the arm, but look, now it pulled back, but now it's starting to make that move. If it breaks 416 this week, it's head right to 420, and that is going to definitely make a higher high. So just keep an eye on it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there is definitely room for bullish momentum there. Next stock I wanted to review was Meta. Let me just bring them up real quick. I don't know why I'm struggling to find them. Hold on, let me just type it in. So here is Meta. Meta is an absolute juggernaut right now. I mean, all-time highs. You can't short this. Where are you going to short it? There's no high on it anymore. It's making new highs. It's hard to even draw a trend channel on this. This is the best I can do. And for those of you that don't use Webull, you can use this and then use trend channel to get a trend channel on it. But you could even just extend this, to be honest, all the way. And it'll just kind of give you that. So it broke out of that channel, and now it's trading at the top of this channel. As you can see, Meta was kind of doing this. But now look at it. So it's at the top of the trend channel. As long as you follow a stop loss and you're gonna take the loss, at 500, there's nothing wrong with, potentially trying to pick this support area right here. Let me just show you. Trying to make a purchase here at 500 for a move back up. Just let it prove that it can bounce, and then, because it had this bullish candle and it held 497. You want to try to take a stab there and go long, there's nothing wrong with that, but just follow a stop loss, because this could be trending back down to 480 if it breaks that. Personally, the market is so bullish, I don't see it just, selling off. I feel like you have a good chance here to keep playing long on this. Just keep working, keep trading in that trend channel, and you're okay. But just be careful, because this can pull back very easily, but it looks very bullish in my eyes. Next, Nvidia. Nvidia has this amazing trend channel as well. I mean, just look at this chart from 500 all the way up to 830. It's making new highs. It's above new highs. So this is going to 1,000 in my opinion. I think Nvidia, if there's any stock that you're going to buy at the highs, I always say you got to follow a stop loss. That's just my opinion. But Nvidia definitely is, it's going to 1,000 by the end of 2024. I mean, that's how I look at it. This thing is so, look at it. The RSI is 87. It doesn't slow down. It's just, you just got to be careful with these massive bull runs. You can't short them. They're impossible. If you shorted this, you got destroyed. I mean, if you were trying to short this whole thing, your only opportunity was here at 750 and to cover at 650, and that was during earnings. But besides that, they're crushing their earnings. They're making good money. They're a profitable company. How do you go against them? Apple, this is a no-brainer right now. You got to go to the short side right now. I took a long position. I showed it in my previous video. I actually sold it for a small gain. I'm sitting on cash. I'm going to rebuy them, but not yet. When you look at Apple on the 1-year chart, there is clear support in this area at 170. You can see it right here. There's support in this area, 170. Let me just keep it still for your viewers. So you have clear support in 170. You had support at 171.5 right here. You have support right here from 170 all the way down to 167. That's where I'm looking to make my entry. I have this box here. I'm going to move it down a little bit because I want this to be my first entry where I'm going to start to accumulate a position to go long. Apple is a company that has consistently proved to be profitable. They talk about slowing growth and all that. Come on, it's the iPhone. It's a beast. They make money. They make billions of dollars. They have a great balance sheet. This is the company I'm hoping sells off because you want these discounts. The lower it goes, the better. The more that we're going to make. This is a company you just buy and hold. There's nothing really tough about it. You just don't want to be buying at the all-time highs. You just got to accumulate shares and just hold it long term. This is a no-brainer. This is in every S&P 500, every growth fund. Apple's in it, same as Microsoft. You just want to pick your spots where you feel comfortable holding. For me, if I buy around 170, I can hold that for a couple of years. I care less. If it goes down even more, like to 130s, that would be amazing. But we don't know if that's going to happen. I think the lowest we're going to get is in this trend channel, which is hopefully like 160. That would be a blessing. But I'm going to start picking up shares at 170, give or take, looking at the charts around then. It's definitely something that I'm trying to take a picture. Google. This company is kind of confusing me a little bit because when I think about Google, I think that overall, I'm very biased, but I think Google is going to be the AI king, and Microsoft has been taking it right now. But you got to look at this trend channel that Google's been trading in. Google's been trading in the upper channel here, but now it's stuck in this lower channel. And as you can see, there is a potential chance here where Google can start selling off. There's a lot of negative sentiment about the CEO, about what's going on with the AI and everything that's going on with their Gemini. But if we get a sell-off, I am looking for potential support. This is a long-term 1-year chart, but I like 130s to start picking a spot, and I really like the 125. The reason I like 125 is I'm going to get rid of this just for our sake. Just look at this area right here. And this is long-term investing here. This is buying dollar cost averaging. But this is why I like it. Look at this area right here. You had resistance here. So you had resistance at 127. Dies back down. Resistance right here at 127. Then it turned into support. It broke through. Support, support, support. So I can see a potential swing trade here. Doesn't mean it's got to be long term, but you could definitely do a swing trade. Just under 130, around 128. To me, that's go time. I'm thinking we can definitely get a swing. If we can get a pullback, we just be patient. Just wait for Google. We get a nice dip below 130, hits 129. You get a move back up to retest this support right here at 136. Yes, I know everybody's saying, oh, that's only 5-6%. It just depends how many shares you're doing and what's your share size. If it's 6%, it's going to make a difference or not. Because if this if this area breaks, hold on, let me just make this rectangle. If this area proves that it cannot hold at 137, let's say this breaks, I'm thinking we're going to get a move down to 127, hit this support area because you got support here, support here, support here. And what I want to see is I will be sitting with cash ready to go around 129 and trying to make a push back up to that area 120. And that's a 6% move. So these are all alerts that I'm setting. That's what I'm looking at. I just want to throw that out there. I see the support. It could break. Here's your next level of support around the 125 to 128, 29 region. That's where you start accumulating a position. Obviously, we got to see what the macro is doing, but that's what I'm looking at for Google. Just looking at on the 1 month chart, it's very weak. It sold off to 134. It's definitely showing a bearish momentum right now. So you just got to be very cognizant of that, that's what's happening. On the up hand, though, if Google can break up and break through this trend line and get above 140, we can start making a move back up. So I'm not ruling it out, but I'm definitely thinking about the downside on Google right now. Tesla, my favorite stock. Everybody knows this. I always trade Tesla. You know, I haven't traded Tesla for some reason. I've been trading other stocks lately. I got to get back into Tesla. I feel like Tesla's like the best for volatile trading. But there's your trend channel. This is where we are trading. And we're at the top of the market. It looks pretty bullish. But you just got to see Tesla get above 205. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's really, when you look at this on a 3 month chart, you had this massive sell-off from 265. We sold all the way off to 175, and it's gained its foot. It knows where the line in the sand is now. 175 to 185 to 195. Now we're back up to 200. It's got to hold 200. Once it breaks like 210 right here in this area, we're off to the races. Then we can start making moves higher. But you have to remember, Tesla has those, it's not doing good on their margins. Their margins are bad, their earnings. It's not like they're doing terrible. They have a lot of cash on hand when you look at them as a company. But there's a ton of competition, and it just makes you wonder, you know, you really got to believe in Elon and everything he's doing if you're going to go long on this position, which is, it's not a bad idea, but you just got to just protect your share size, you know, your percentages. Keep your stocks to 5% of the portfolio, 7%, 10% if you're really bullish, but just be safe. Protect your assets at all times. Next, I just want to go over DIA. This is the Dow Jones. It is just so bullish, and it's making new highs. It's almost at 400. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to DIA because this has been an incredible fund, and I love this fund because it doesn't invest in any of the growth stocks that I was talking about. It gives you a completely different diversification, so it's definitely nice to see something else. After that, I've been looking at AT&T a little bit, just kind of trying to analyze them a little bit, the debt on the balance sheet, etc. But $13 held the support. It's up to 17. We got to see if it can break 19. But I believe that this has downside. And I think, look at this trend that was forming, this mini trend. Look right here and right here. As you can see right here, now it's starting to form a base. So it's either AT&T is going to hold this 16 range and then start making a move higher, or it's going to break right here and it's going to come back down to $15. And let me just show you what I'm looking at. Let me just find the rectangle. So right here is where I'm thinking. So we pull that back. We're going to move back to 15.5 for a re-entry into AT&T. So if AT&T pulls back, I will look to make a position around $15.50 in between there. But that's all I want to do. I just want to review it a little bit. SQQQ has died. I mean, $10. Oh, my. The QQQ is just incredible. It's making new highs, 446. As you can see, unstoppable. We're in that AI bubble. The market just continues to go up. You know, I've tried multiple times to get into this, shorting it. And I keep telling myself, this is the bottom. This is the bottom. And so far, I've made it out unscathed. But it's starting to make me wonder if this thing is going to like reverse split and just go back to like $50 or something, because it's at $10 now. I'm wondering how low this fund will let it go. Because every time you think, oh, it can't go any lower, I mean, just look at it. It's anybody that's invested in this has pretty much lost money over time. I mean, it just decays. But it's definitely not, it's not the worst idea thinking about this. I mean, let's see if it's hit 450 yet. It hasn't. It went to 446 as its high. You could, if you're going to short it and you're just going based on psychological levels, 450 makes sense. You know, it's at the whole dollar. But you're starting to lose buyers up here, as you can see. Look how thin this wick is, from 446 up to 447. And RSI, is it lying to you? I mean, RSI is 73. Look at the RSI on the 1-year chart. It's at 67. Maybe there's a further push up to 450, 455, and then we get a pullback. I mean, when is this going to pull back? It's incredible. All it does is go up. So it's definitely what I've been looking at. I think you gotta buy the dips and ride the bullish momentum right now. It's too much. It is definitely a bull's dream right now, and the bears are waiting to get in. So I'd just be careful if you're going to short the market with SQQ. All right, guys, my channel Trading Simplified. If you feel like you learned something, any of value, hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, leave a comment. That's what means the most to me. And check out my other videos, the day trading on Fidelity, the Fidelity Active Trader Pro shortcuts, the automatic investments on Fidelity. If you just want to learn about the platform, how to use Fidelity Active Trader Pro, definitely check it out. I got everything on here. The semiconductor, FSELX, the trade armor, SQQQ analysis, anything you need, it's all here. Check it out.